Corporate recruiting expert Mercedes Johnson unintentionally sent ripples through social media with her viral recruiting salary post. Unintentionally? This seems pretty intentional. I just offered a candidate $85K when we could have given her way more. So today we're going to talk about the legend of Mercedes S. Johnson and her terrible Twitter post that went viral the other day. This is it right here if you haven't seen it. I just offered a candidate $85,000 for a job that had a budget of $130K. I offered her that because that's what she asked for, and I personally don't have the bandwidth to give lessons on salary negotiation. Here's the lesson. Always ask for the salary you want, deserve, no matter how large you think it might be. You never know how much money a company has to work with. Hashtag be confident. Pretty easy to see why people are upset about this post. If it had just been the third paragraph by itself, okay, yeah, that's a decent little knowledge tidbit, sure. But it's the first part, right? That's the part that's you can't just make an apology post later like you did and then think everyone's just going to forget about it. Let's dive in and break this down just a little bit. You're offering someone $85,000 because that's what they asked for, even though you knew you could have given them more money, but because they didn't ask for it, they don't get it. And that was the lesson that you're teaching them by punishing them or something, by not giving them more money, even though it's not like you would have got the difference. Like, that's the thing I don't understand about these managers that work in corporate companies, like that manage the company's money like it's their own, even though they don't benefit by, being greedy with it. Like, I don't understand. If it was the CEO's money, yeah, direct correlation, you want to pay me as little as possible. But like, some middle person in the company, a recruiter, like, you don't get a bonus because you lowball me. It's just not going to make you look good, no matter which way you try and spin it. Over here on your Twitter page, you have a bunch of other cliche things like faithfluencer, serial entrepreneur, worship pastor, all this stuff. Is this just like get out of jail free cards now? Because that's what it seems like it is. Is that what Jesus would do? Is that what he would do? He'd be like, you should have asked for money. Sucks to suck. Now you're only getting $85K. On social media behind your back. That's what Jesus would do. Like, come on, like, you just got all these cliche things in here that really make people look at you even more when it's so obnoxious, like the original post. Because you are personally feeling like you didn't have the bandwidth or the patience or whatever, the time of day to give lessons on salary negotiation, this person will now miss out on a large amount of money. But maybe we should just talk about salary tips for just a second. So generally, don't give your number first. And second, when they do say, okay, well, what do you want? Give a number that's higher than where you're currently at, but say, I'd like to stay where I'm currently at, and then give that number. Right? That's the big brain play if they force you into doing something like that. But also, go on Glassdoor, do some market research, look at what other jobs with similar titles in that area are paying. You got to come prepared to these things. It's just a really crappy thing to do to someone when you have the power to give someone more money, but choose not to teach them a lesson about maybe they should have asked and they wouldn't have missed out or something. You could have said that and then still given them the money, You could have said, hey, we do have a bigger budget and you should have asked, but I just want to let you know we do. And so instead, I'm going to give you this offer. You could have done something like that. You could have done any number of things to positively affect the candidate and teach the lesson that you want to teach. Like, this didn't have to be the only way. What I don't get is, Mercedes, what do you think they do to you when you go into a job? What do you think that new job did to you when you went into the interview, when you started negotiating salary? Huh? What happens when you guess their budget? What happens when they tell you the budget? Do you think that's the real budget? Do you think they're trying to teach you any lessons, or have you already figured out all the answers? And here's the apology that she wrote. The purpose of that post was to empower others to not end up like this particular candidate. The purpose of your post so that you don't end up like her. You made that happen, though. You made that, end. You made it. She ended up like that because of you. I want people to know their worth. Then how come you didn't tell her that she was worth more than $85,000? Like, why are you doubling down right now? I made that post at the risk of my job because it's not right that many don't know what their skills are worth. And you had the moment and chance to tell someone that, hey, you're worth more, and you didn't. So I learned a lot from my recent post. Doesn't seem like it. I understand and now feel how my post made a lot of people feel, and especially the candidate that was directly impacted by my choice. It doesn't feel good, and this should have gone differently. Wait, hold on. She deserves to be paid what she's worth from the company despite what she thinks the job. Wait, no. Why are you deflecting? She deserves to be paid what she's worth, but you decided that wasn't the case because you wanted to teach them a lesson. What are you talking about? Well, this is common practice in the hiring space. It should not have been a public learning experience, but an internal one. So what? You would have just not posted it on Twitter and been a shitty person behind closed doors? Really? Is that what this says? I hope for some, it was a message about worth. But I don't take lightly the salary disparities that happen in corporations. It is not to be made light of. While that was not my intent, I have to acknowledge the impact of my statement. I hope one day to be able to help candidates be aware of the salary ranges they should ask for before it ends with another $45K difference in pay that you could have stopped, but chose not to for clout. Come on. I'm optimistic that you will see my heart and know I mean no harm. I don't know. It just seemed really dumb, dude. Just seemed really, really dumb. Kind of selfish. Looking for clout. I don't care what your heart feels. This is what it is. I'm not a risk taker, but I took this risk for another person. Wait, you took a risk for another person by writing about how you lowballed them. I don't know if this person is in a relationship, but can you imagine the sort of arguments they would have? Because it's almost unwinnable. Like, how do you... Where's the logic? I'm not a risk taker, but I took the risk for another person. What risk did you take? What risk? What? Someone made you make a post about how you lowballed them to teach a lesson to the world about asking their worth. That was a risk you took on behalf of other people. What? I don't know what race this candidate is. All I know is that the candidate didn't realize they were worth so much more. I just wanted to instill confidence. That is how to do the opposite, is when you do it your way. Fun fact, there is actually a change.org petition going on right now that says, pay Mercedes Johnson's candidate their worth, #ethical recruitment. You know, we don't actually know what happened to the candidate or if this candidate even existed. But could you imagine being that candidate and then reading, like, I just met with that person and this is what she did to me? You seem like you're on our side, and then you go, nope. Learn to play the game. Let's look at the comments on this. Are you fired yet? If you were going to take a risk for another person, you should have gave her the pay instead of posting about it after the fact. Yeah, that would have been the actual risk. No risk in a voluntary social media post about what you did to someone else as a learning lesson for them and for us. This comment is a really, really good one. As I recall, you didn't have the bandwidth to help her. You didn't help her. You didn't teach her anything. You belittled her experience online. And then when you got the response your post truly deserved, now you supposedly hate salary disparities, but you actively participated in it. Stop posting. Go dark for a while. Let this die down because your continual commentary only extends your season of negative consequences for your actions. Okay, bye. How was the purpose to empower others with a post, but you avoided empowering the person who was sitting right in your face? You seem like you got enough bandwidth to post stupid shit, but not enough to pay people what they're worth. How are you instilling confidence by letting her get undercut by a corporation with $45K to spare? Mercedes S. Johnson taking money out of a person's pocket to protect the interests of her corporation. Well, yeah, I mean, that's technically her job. We have to be somewhat realistic here. Your job in HR is to protect the company. As a recruiter, I would assume it's to save them money, but since you advertise yourself as the type of person who likes to help people out, and then you make a post bragging about how you chose not to help someone out, it's not a good look. You're not going to get the money that they save because of this. You don't get a $45K bonus. You don't get a raise. You lost your job. I mean, just because it went viral, but this happens all the time behind the scenes, 100%. That's all I got for the legend of Mercedes S. Johnson today. I hope you thought it was enjoyable. Go check out the subreddit over here, Corporate Kool-Aid, got some good stuff. Here's another post about recruiters if you want. But if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, share it, and if you have anything else you'd like me to review, you can post it on the subreddit, email it to me, Discord, Instagram, however you want to do it. Happy to hear from you guys, even if you're not giving me content, just so you know. I do just talk to you if you message me, or I try to, but yeah. Have a good Friday. See you in the next one.